Okay, order flow trading course lesson 10, the importance of delta and volume. My name is Michael Valtos. I'm the founder of orderflows.com. Before we get started, let me read through a brief disclaimer. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. OFTC Rules 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that it is designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. So in this lesson, I'm going to explain the importance of delta and volume. First, we'll start with volume. Why is volume more important than price? When institutional traders are moving size in the market, they try to hide their size, their volume, and not the price. When you see price trade, you form an opinion of the market, but when you see the volume, you see the facts of the market. So let's think about that for a second. Why is volume more important than price? Price is often viewed as an advertising mechanism. So, imagine you're in the fruit market and you see apples on sale for $2 for $1, and you think, hey, that's a good price. You want to buy it. You're not concerned with what the volume is, but if you know that there's going to be a big harvest and you like apples and you want to buy some extra to take home, you're going to think, well, I know that tomorrow there's going to be a lot of supply in the market, and tomorrow the price might be $3 for $1. So you might buy one pair today, but you can come back tomorrow and buy if you want to buy $5 worth, you could buy 10 today, but if you wait till tomorrow, you could buy 15 because it's going to be $3 for $1. Trading in the markets is similar in that sense, where say the S&Ps are offered at 1910 and you just see 50 on the offer, you kind of think the market's going to go higher, and you're looking at the volume on the offer and you only see 50 lots, and you're thinking, well, if you get through that 50 lots, the market can start to tick a little bit higher. But if you know that the market is 1910 offered, but you see a size there of 1,000, are you going to have the same view of the market? No, because there's a lot of supply there offered at 1910. Let's take a look at a chart here real quick. So this is an E-minis chart, and this is just measuring the volume. You're seeing the market trading between 1911 and 1913, and the volumes are going back and forth. It's this third line here, volume on the bottom. At this bar here at 1230, it's 4,500, 8,000 at 1236, 4,000 at 1237, 6,000 at 1240. And then all of a sudden you see a big surge in the volume. It's almost doubles. It goes to 13,000, back to 6,000, 8,000, it jumps to 16,000 again, 7,000. What you're seeing is a lot of supply coming into the market and the price selling off. So obviously there's more inventory for sale, and for people to move the inventory, they have to move the price down. So volume has often been relegated to a secondary position by most traders since they are focused on price. Most indicators are designed around price. They don't necessarily take into account volume. Volume is useful for identifying turning points in the market. So in a downtrending market, sellers are usually in control, and for the market to turn, buyers need to take control. What that means is that buyers need to come in and overwhelm the sellers with demand. There has to be more demand than supply, That's the basic rules of economics. So here's an example. In the crude oil, the volume, again, it's this third line here, starting at 952, you see volume of 400, 1400, 700, 800. Now the market is just sort of trading sideways. And then you're starting to see the volume really pick up again, 1400, which is, the highest for the most recent, the most recent bars, 2000, 1200, as you see the market start to move away. You're seeing, additional buyers come in, and you're seeing buyers willing to, buy the inventory that the sellers are offering to the market. So in an uptrending market, buyers are usually in control, and for the market to turn, sellers need to take control. What that means is that sellers need to come in and overwhelm the buyers with supply. Which is, the statement is the opposite of a downtrending market. But in an uptrending market, you need to have, either new supply come into the market or new sellers come into the market and offer inventory to the buyers that, is going to overrun the buying in the market. For the market to start to sell off, you're going to need more sellers than buyers. Now that's in an uptrending market. There's going to be times where there's just no more buyers, but we're talking about how to read increasing and decreasing volume. So let's get into delta. How can a trader measure volume in a way to trade in the short term? Well, there's this thing called delta that you're going to see on volume footprint charts. When prices start to move, the reason it moves is because of a series of aggressive buying or selling, which will show up in the delta of a bar. Delta measures the strength of the market's auction process. It's the most important component of delta is volume. Volume must be understood in context of the market. When the volume is expanding positively or negatively, a trader must watch its strength to fully comprehend the shift in supply and demand. It is important to note that delta does not take into account price. So delta, I explained briefly in the terms section what delta is and what the ask delta is and what the bid delta is. So now let's look at it on a chart. So you have down here at the bottom, you have the ask, the bid, and the delta. This is actually the ask delta, the bid delta, and the net delta for the bar. So when you have an ask delta, that's the volume that's traded on the offer. The bid delta is what's traded on the bid. So we'll take a look at this bar right here at 812. So you see 374. That's if you take all the volume traded on the offer, add it together, you get 374. On the bid side, you get 1432. Is if you take all the numbers traded on the bid side, you get 1432. When you subtract the 374 from 1432, you get negative 1058. So you have a negative delta in the bar. And what that's telling you is that there was more sold into the bid than bought on the offer. Now, with most footprint charts, you can choose to have the bid and the ask deltas in there, or you can just, like on this chart, not have it in there and just concentrate on the net deltas. It's personal preference whether you want to have it or not. If, once you start looking at deltas fairly regularly, you're going to get used to understanding the numbers, and you might just want to go with where you just have the net delta. Delta is overlooked by most traders. The only traders who follow delta are mainly order flow traders. Delta is not used by most traders because most people, they don't even know it exists, let alone how to read it and understand it and trade with it. Now, delta can alert you to areas in the market when buyers are drying up in an up move and where sellers are getting stronger. Delta alerts you to areas where sellers are getting less in a down move and buyers are starting to dominate. This is what causes changes in trends. Okay, so I'll show you a nice example here. if you're watching the delta, which is the top line here, you're seeing, minus deltas here, minus 723, minus 912. Now you got a positive delta of 758, then a positive delta of 2000, and then again a positive delta of 2600. What you're seeing is, this market is going sideways for the most part, but you're seeing the deltas really starting to turn positive. Buyers are starting to take control. You got 3 bars here with positive delta, fairly strong positive deltas. What that's telling you, there's buying has come in. Buyers are starting to overwhelm the sellers. They're willing to pay the offer price to try and take the market higher. And you see, we're starting to string together more positive deltas as the markets are moving higher. If these deltas in these bars were just sort of average numbers, maybe 700, 900, the market may continue to go sideways. But what you're seeing here is very strong positive deltas. You're seeing 2000, 2600, when earlier you're just seeing deltas in the 700, 900 levels. Buyers are really starting to overwhelm the sellers here. Here's an example of a market that's selling off. We're got some positive deltas here, 2000, 1800. Here you have 1900 in this third bar, then 2000 again. So it's, these deltas, they sort of mirror the other, previous deltas, more or less as you're going sideways. But as you start to break out, of this lower area of this green bar at 1907, you hit it in this red bar at 1048 where you got 2000. You're seeing the deltas still remaining very strong, 3000, 2000, 3000 as the market sells off. You're seeing in this case, this is where the sellers are taking control of the market. The deltas oftentimes, they'll go positive, you get 1 or 2 positive, 1 or 2 negative, back and forth. But when you're starting to string together series of negative deltas, look for the market to start to sell off. If you're stringing together series of positive deltas, look for the market to start to rally. So what drives price movements in the market? Well, it's the differences of opinion. When a market is trading as per normal, at equilibrium, so to speak, the delta should be relatively low or not changing much. Supply and demand at that point is about equal. The problem is no one knows where this level of equilibrium is. It constantly changes. Delta tracks a difference of opinion and, more importantly, how it's changing. Delta shows you exactly how strong buyers or sellers are. Delta shows you when the market is calm and the market is facilitating trade, which is its main purpose. So, for example, this is a chart of the E-minis. And so in this chart of the ES, you'll see the market has been rallying, going up, up, up. We hit a high up here in this bar at 1043. It's got a small negative delta following a bar with a big positive delta. Then it sort of goes sideways. The market goes sideways over the next few bars. We have this bar at the high with a delta of minus 92. The bar follows it with a delta of minus 49. Then the next bar is minus 275. The next bar is positive 174 and a positive 187. And over here at 1051, you got a delta of minus 612. So you got to take into account what's happening. Think about what just happened. The market is going up, and then it goes sideways. And as it's going sideways, the deltas are fairly small. Minus 90, minus 50, minus 200, plus 170, plus 187. And why isn't the market's not going anywhere? It's going sideways. What this is telling you, these small deltas, is that the buying and selling is evenly distributed. And why is that important? Well, we're at a high. If the market's going to continue going high, you want to see strong positive deltas, not evenly distributed deltas where the buying and selling is matched for the most part. When you start moving out of this range, this area, you see the delta start getting bigger, minus 600. Then, at 10:52, it's minus 23.36. You got a selling imbalance. You can see now that the sellers have taken over. They've overrun the buyers. And the market just sold right off. This area up here where it's just going sideways, is, some people can like to call that absorption, where buying and selling is evenly matched and the market is basically going sideways. So one of the main reasons so many traders lose money or fail at trading is because they come into the market thinking all you have to do is buy low and sell high. Oftentimes they are buying only to have the market keep dropping after they have bought or sold, and the market keeps on, or sold, and the market keeps on going higher against them. I mean, in theory, it's simple. I'll just buy low and sell high. But how often have you bought and then the market just keeps dropping? Or how often times have you sold thinking this is the high or the end of a move and the market just keeps going against you? What successful traders do is buy when the market is showing strength and sell when the market is weak. The successful traders buy high and sell higher, or they sell low and buy lower. You have to think like a mercenary. Yeah, I know that sounds cliche, but you want to fight on the side that is winning. You don't want to waste your time trying to fight a losing battle, trying to pick highs and lows, trying to gain some glory. If you can see by the order flow that the market is starting to show some strength in the form of buying, or show weakness in the fact that buying has dried up, that's the way you want to go. You don't want to sell just because we made a new high, or you don't want to buy just because you made a new low, thinking this is going to be the bottom. You just wait. Wait for the opportunity. Wait for the market to tell you what it's going to do. Most of the time, the market isn't going to be telling you anything. It's just going to be doing what it does and trading, facilitating the buying and selling of market, and the transfer of goods from one hand to the other. But there's going to be times when it's very, very obvious, and you can see that in the order flow and especially in the delta. So, here's a chart of crude oil, right? And as you're going down, you're seeing the delta's strongly negative, minus 190, minus 299, minus 495. That's what you want to see when the market is showing strength on a move to the downside. The market sort of goes sideways. You can see the deltas, minus 100, plus 40, minus 49, minus 53 as the market goes sideways. Think about what just happened. We sold off, so there could be some profit taking coming in there, to sort of meet with the selling, people covering their shorts. Then, once those buyers are done, the market continues down. You can see again the delta's picking up strength, minus 226, minus 303, minus 287 as the market moves down. Okay, this is a E-mini chart. And for the most part, the market's going sideways. And what do you have? You got relatively small deltas, 168, 200, 60, 95. I mean, you're going to get, you get a few in here with some, decent numbers, 411, 693, 400. The market is just going sideways. Just when it goes sideways, it's not always just going to be, small numbers. You're going to get some where people try to push it down or push it up, but there's no follow through in the next bar. It's, the market is telling you that it's going sideways. It's when you start breaking out and start stringing together strong deltas in one direction. Like here, you got minus 400, minus 500, minus 1400, and right as the market starts to sell off, that's, this is the sign in the market that you're looking to see on a regular basis, and it does appear every day in almost every market. Here, earlier you got minus 411 delta, but then immediately in the next bar you got a positive delta. If the selling is going to continue, you're going to be looking for a strong negative delta. Then again, minus 693, you're thinking, hey, this could be the start of it. But what happens in the next bar? You get a small positive delta. Then it starts to reappear shortly thereafter. But, at this time, had you gotten short, depending on how tight your stop is, maybe you get stopped out, or, take a small, a small loss, or, scratch it and think you got to reassess. But then, the next couple bars, it's really clear to you that, hey, the sell-off, you want to get in on it. Okay, and again, this is the bond chart. And what do you have here? You've got, a market going sideways. It's not showing the deltas here, but, you got minus 200, minus 400, minus 500. The market's not going down. You got three fairly strong negative deltas. They're increasing in size, but why isn't the market going down? In this bar at 824, you got a positive delta of 85. Okay, it's not the biggest positive delta, thinking that the, supply and demand has shifted. But, it's a sign. It's telling you, hey, there's buying in here. It's kind of disguised with this small delta, but you can see it in there. The sellers were met with, met with good buyers. Then the next bar, again, it's a positive delta. It's starting to build on this positive delta from the bar earlier. Again, you see have these three bars here with, negative delta that's growing, but why isn't the market going down? This is what you have to be asking yourself and noticing it when the market is trading. You can see here, this is really the shift, the change in demand. Before there's a lot of supply, it's being sold in there, but it's met with buyers. And here now you're starting to see the buyers take over from the sellers. And you see 85, 149, 426, 1900 as the market is pulling away from this area. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for signs that the buying has, the buyers have taken over from the sellers. Here it was dominated by sellers. The market necessarily wasn't moving anywhere. It wasn't going down when you're seeing these deltas. It's just hanging around. You got a small delta. A delta of 85 is fairly small. It could be difference of one trade, actually. For me, I tend to find it kind of neutral. When I see a smaller delta number, it could easily have gone the other way had there been a little bit more volume in that bar to trade. But nevertheless, it's positive, and it's starting to build on it in the next couple of bars. And, you see the big positive delta come in here at 841, as the market is really moving in that direction. So when looking at delta, there are basically 5 scenarios when it comes to delta in a bar. It could be extremely positive number, indicates aggressive buyers have dominated the bar. Buyers are buying all the available supply offered by sellers and moving the market higher. What I mean by extremely positive delta, usually it's something, on, over 1,000 or more. Average positive delta number would indicate aggressive buyers outnumber sellers, but not overwhelmingly. This can be a sign of accumulation when a series of average positive delta bars are being put together. For example, it depends on, you should know what sort of deltas you'll see in your normal market, depending on what you trade. For the E-minis, usually when you see deltas over 5,000 or 6,000, that's an extremely positive delta number. When you see things, deltas around 1,000, 900, 1,000, anywhere between 500 and 1,500, it's kind of an average positive delta number. It's just telling you there was slightly more buying than selling in the bar. A small or negative delta number that's close to 0 indicates aggressive buyers and sellers are pretty much evenly matched, prices at equilibrium. Both buyers and sellers are happy to trade at. What I consider that is, a number less than 100, either positive or negative, because, I said it's rare. You do get 0 deltas in a bar where it's perfectly matched, but, sometimes you're going to get a delta of 6 or 30 or 87, especially when the bar has, a total volume of, say, 8,000 lots that traded and the delta's, 70. It's telling you that, the buying and selling is evenly matched. I tend to take it, whether it's positive or negative, in the same light. I'll sort of treat it as a neutral delta. So an average negative delta number indicates aggressive sellers outnumber the aggressive buyers. Not overwhelmingly. It can be a sign of steady reduction of position or shorts building up. An average negative delta number would be something, minus 500 to, minus 1,500, just as a average positive delta would be around 500 to 1,500. An extremely negative delta number indicates aggressive sellers have dominated the bar. Sellers are basically hitting every bid as they dump their excess supply in expectation of lower prices. An extremely negative delta to me would be, something along the lines of, minus 4,000, minus 5,000 and above. That's fairly obvious. Everyone's rushing in to sell as much as they can in expectation that the market is going lower. Just a quick couple points, 3 points actually. Delta does not take into account price. It doesn't, you don't even, when you're looking at delta, you're not really concerned about the price of the market where it's trading at. Really all you're concerned about is the net difference between the buyers and the sellers. When the delta is negative and price is going up, be careful. Why is price going up while the delta is negative? Well, it could be a couple of things. The main one is there could be support in the market, and people are trying to push the market down, and they're basically hitting the bids. But there could be somebody in there with a lot of demand, a big passive buyer that they're basically willing to buy as much as people are willing to sell. And then when those sellers are done, they got no more bullets left, so to speak. The market will pop up a bit. And the opposite is true. When delta is positive and price is going down, again, be careful. When delta is positive, you have more buying than selling. So if price is going down, it shouldn't be. It should be going up. And just to further example, this is the chart we had earlier, it looks like, and actually no, this is a slightly different one. This is crude oil, and what's happening? We're going up, 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 and you got negative deltas all on the way up. Well, why? If you're going up, you should have positive deltas. One, it's usually a function that, there's offers on the way up that people are buying in expectation of the move higher. Well, what they're doing, basically they're buying the available supply. At some point when, those buyers have bought all that they need, well, what's going to happen? It's not like the market is just going to keep going up and up and up. If, the sellers are going to come in and start hitting the bids on the way up, as people are bidding, here you have, 392, 323. You're seeing, on the bid side, big, strong bids. 369, 420. Someone is supporting the market. People are trying to sell it to move it lower, but whoever's bidding, it just keeps moving, going slightly higher, higher, higher. And eventually, these buyers, once they buy their, buy what they need to buy, what happens? They're no longer there to support the market, and then the sellers are going to come in and really start to move the market lower. You see here on the way up, right, you got bid sides of, 286, 390, 320, 369, 420. On the way down, where are these buyers that were here earlier? There's nothing more than, here's 277, 229. But as it moves down on much lesser volume than what you were seeing, bidding it on the way up. You can see the deltas are, I said, you're going higher and you're getting negative deltas. So obviously there's people that are selling it and people that are buying it. They're working the bids and people are selling into the bids. But what's going to happen as you're up near the high? Eventually, these people that are buying it, that are supporting the market that people are selling into, you got to watch, when, they're building their position. Once their position is built, and they've got enough for their portfolio, they're not necessarily going to be buying it anymore. And then the market, you'll see a shift where as you start to move lower, people are selling into the bids, sellers are taking over. But there's not much left in the bid side to really support the market as you were getting it on the way up. So, understanding delta in relationship to where the market is trading can clue you into the possible reversals. When a market is hanging around the high, delta should be mostly positive. When a market is hanging around a low, delta should be mostly negative. When a market starts to move away from a high or low, delta can tip you off. Okay, for example, this is a Euro Stoxx chart. We're coming down into a low. Here you have a divergence as this little arrow is. But, on the way down, you got the negative deltas, and you hit the low, and what happens? You see a positive delta. That's what's telling you got a divergence. Is a new low and a positive delta. At a low, you should have a negative delta, but then you start building up some more positive deltas over the next 2 or 3 bars, and the market starts moving away from the low. This is what you're looking for as far as a reversal. You're looking for, the low to be set, and you're looking for it to move away with positive deltas. You don't want to see more negative deltas coming in, more selling coming into the market. And the reverse is true if you're going, on your way up, right? You got positive deltas on the way up. You hit the high, you got a divergence, you got a negative delta, and you got the next bar after the high is negative delta, and the next bar after that is also a negative delta, and you're moving away from the high. When you come up to a high and you start putting in negative deltas, expect the market to sell off. People are taking this as the high, and and they're reacting, and they're starting to sell at this level. They feel that this high is a good level to sell. Now, another way to interpret deltas is when you have a massive delta numbers that are either positive or negative. They're just so big, you find yourself saying, wow, it could tip you off to a short-term trend in that direction. For example, in a market that's trading, relatively small deltas, a couple hundred aside, like this is a crude oil chart, right? Most of the deltas, you see, 200, 100, 189, 297, 267, 500, 400 is pushing it. But here you got a big negative delta, minus 1,000. You've got, selling imbalance right at that level. In that bar, 1,000 is considered, like a wow level in the sense that, hey, wow, that's a lot. Don't miss this trade. There's people looking to get short, especially, after the high has been made, and all of a sudden you got big, a big negative delta. A lot of selling came in. You see, 454, 538. Here you got even in the imbalance, you got 165, 243. There's obviously a lot of selling coming in, reacting to this high. And the market sold off. This is a E-mini chart. We're trading around, this level, going a little bit sideways here. Then all of a sudden, seeing, what I consider average delta numbers, minus 1,300, minus 854, then wham, you get hit with minus 5,000 delta. Even to the next bar, it came in as minus 3,800. But, when you see a bar with very strong negative delta, it's market's tipping you off that, hey, there's a lot of sellers, they're overwhelmed these buyers that were sitting down here on the bid side in the bar. And, and the market, had a little change, in this case, it was a continuation of the trend. Oftentimes, it's going to be, just like after a bar with a negative delta, an average number, and when you get the wow number, a very big number in that direction. There will be times where you have, say a bar, you get a negative delta, then a big positive delta, look for a little bit of follow through, or in the direction that the delta is telling you. In this case, it's telling you there's a lot of selling coming in, that your direction should be looking to go lower. When you're coming to this bar right here with positive delta of 1,600 on the back of minus 5,000, minus 3,800, this is almost 10,000 negative delta, and you got this bar here with 1,600. It's going to take a lot to really move the market back up. So it's one of those things where, you have these two bars with big, strong negative delta, and you see a bar come in that looks like, hey, maybe we're going to start to move away. Well, not necessarily. You've got these big negative bars, the big negative delta bars here. If anything, I'd expect the market to go sideways first, to a little bit lower, then necessarily start to move higher immediately after the selling. Because, these people that were selling here, they may very well reappear slightly later, even though you have this one bar with a positive delta. So, like I said, take everything into context with what's happening in the market. So small delta numbers, both positive and negative, indicate the market is balanced. It's trading at a level where both buyers and sellers are happy with the price that is being traded, and trade is being facilitated. The market is doing what the market is supposed to do. Small delta numbers, when strung together, are often a sign of absorption. More importantly, for me, it's a sign of sideways trading or congestion. What you want to do is you want to look when you have a series of small delta numbers, then the market starts to move. Watch the direction of the deltas. So here's a case where you're going up, 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 up. This is the E-minis. Positive delta 2000, positive delta 1700. Then you hit the high. You got 2. Then the next, which is traded 17,000 contracts for this bar, and it's got a delta of 2. What's that telling you? The buying and selling is evenly matched. To a lesser extent, the next bar you got a positive delta of 228, which is kind of a small number. In the S&P's 200 lots is, like I said, is one trade, maybe 2 trades, very easily. That's a market that can trade 200-300 in a clip. Then the next bar, you got a delta of negative 18, which again is very small. See what's happened is you have these 3 bars with relatively flat delta. I mean, it is positive 228, but you net all these together, it's over 17,000, 14,000, 6,000. You're talking close to 40,000 lots traded, in this time period between 9:57 and 10 o'clock. And, your delta is only 200. It's telling you the market is going sideways. This is a level where, people are happy to transact. So what you want to do is you want to watch as the market starts to move out of this area. And what's happening? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? It starts coming out with strong negative delta, minus 1800. Then again, if you're not yet convinced that this is the move, minus 2000. Okay, so if you're not short based on this bar, by this bar, you should really be looking to get short, and then the market sells off. So, what's important is taking the delta in context with how the market's moving. The delta should coincide with the direction of the market. When it's not coinciding with the direction of the market, that's when you should, question it, or not question it, but rather, take a closer look and try to understand why the market's not moving. When the market is going sideways or delta is relatively flat, look for the delta as a sign to go in that direction when the market starts to move. So that's the end of lesson 10, delta and volume. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to see in order flow price rejection, which is something you're not going to see in a normal candlestick chart or normal bar chart. That's the beauty of order flows, is it really gives you a new perspective on looking at the markets rather than just looking at a bar and not understanding what's going on inside the bar. You want to know what's going on inside the bar, just like anything in life. If you like to cook, right, you want to know when you see a dish, you want to know what goes into it. You want to know the ingredients. And the market's the same way. So thank you. That's the end of lesson 10, and lesson 11 will begin shortly.